For 10 long years, the world would know nothing but war. Not a war between mortal kingdoms, but a war between gods and titans. Upon the sacred heights of Mount Olympus, Zeus gathered his brothers and sisters beneath a single banner. They had been born into captivity, hidden from their father, or swallowed before they had ever seen the light. Now they stood together, not as frightened children, but as the first Olympians. Across the mountains of Othrys, Cronis summoned the titans who had stood beside him since the fall of Uranus. Oceanus remained apart from the coming conflict. But many of the mighty titans answered their king's call, determined to defend the age they had built. As both armies assembled, the heavens grew dark. The earth trembled beneath thousands of marching feet. The age of the titans and the age of Olympus were about to collide. For a single moment, neither army moved. The wind swept across the valley, carrying only the sound of fluttering banners and the distant rumble of thunder. Then, Zeus raised his hand. A single command echoed across the mountains. The Olympian army surged forward, shields locked, spears lowered. Their battle cries shook the heavens. Cronus answered without hesitation. The Titans charged to meet them. The earth trembled beneath countless marching feet. Bronze crashed against bronze, and the Titanomachy had truly begun. The valley vanished beneath clouds of dust. Bronze rang across the mountains as shield met shield and spear met spear. Neither side yielded. Olympians and Titans fought with relentless fury, their battle cries echoing across the heavens. Warriors fell, others stepped forward to take their place. The earth shook beneath the weight of countless armies. Thunder rolled above them as if the sky itself bore witness to the struggle. Across the battlefield, Zeus watched the endless sea of warriors locked in desperate combat. This was no ordinary battle. It was a war that would decide who would rule the universe itself. Then, Zeus could wait no longer. Leaving the safety of the ridge behind, he descended toward the battlefield. The Olympian warriors looked upon their king, and hope returned to their hearts. Wherever Zeus advanced, the battle line advanced with him. The Titans who had fought without fear now found themselves facing the very child Cronus had tried to destroy. Spears shattered, shields splintered. The tide of battle slowly began to shift. Across the battlefield, Cronis watched in silence. For the first time, he saw not the infant he had once sought to devour, but the warrior destiny had preserved. Zeus did not seek glory. He fought beside his warriors. Every step he took drove the Olympian line forward. The Titans resisted with unyielding determination, yet their once unbreakable ranks began to fracture. The defenders of the old age were being forced backward. Across the valley, blue banners rose where crimson banners had once stood. For the first time since the battle had begun, victory no longer seemed impossible. But Cronis still had not entered the fight. As the battle raged across the valley, another son of Cronis answered the call. Poseidon, lord of the sea. Armed with his mighty bronze trident, he marched beside Zeus into the heart of the war. The Olympian warriors roared with renewed courage. Together, the sons of Cronis pressed forward. The Titan line shuddered beneath their advance. Across the battlefield, Cronis watched another of his children stand against him. The war was no longer a rebellion. It had become a battle between a father and his own blood. As Zeus and Poseidon pressed onward, the third son of Cronis stepped into the war. Hades, lord of the underworld. Silent, unyielding. He neither shouted nor sought glory. With spear and shield in hand, he advanced beside his brothers. Together, the sons of Cronis stood united for the first time against the father who had once condemned them all. The Titanomachy had become a war of blood against blood. Across the battlefield, Cronus had watched enough. He had seen Zeus enter the war. He had seen Poseidon and Hades stand beside their brother. He had watched the armies of Olympus gain ground. Yet the Titan king remained unmoved, for he remembered something his children did not. Long before Zeus had drawn his first breath, long before Olympus had existed, the Titans had ruled creation. They were not merely rulers, they were survivors, veterans of an older age. And now, Cronus would remind his children why the Titans had once conquered the world. The answer came swiftly. Across the battlefield, the oldest warriors of the Titan age moved to the front. They were not driven by fear, nor inspired by prophecy. They fought because they had followed Cronus for ages beyond memory. Shields locked, spears lowered, the Titan veterans advanced as one. Their discipline shook the battlefield. The Olympian warriors met the assault head-on, but this was no ordinary charge. These were the warriors who had built the Titan Empire, and their strength had not yet faded. Slowly, the Olympian advance began to stall. Across the battlefield, Zeus saw the Olympian advance falter. The veterans of Cronis had done what countless warriors could not. They had stopped the armies of Olympus. Yet Zeus did not retreat. Instead, he turned toward his brothers, Poseidon, Hades. For years they had lived apart, separated by fear, imprisonment, and the cruelty of Cronus. Now, for the first time since their liberation, the sons of Cronus stood together upon the battlefield, not as children, not as survivors, but as warriors. And together, they advanced. The battlefield trembled before them. Zeus led the advance. At his side marched Poseidon and Hades. Wherever the three brothers appeared, the Olympian warriors found new strength. Tired soldiers rose once more. Broken formations rallied. The retreat began to slow. Then, the sons of Cronus entered the fighting. Spears shattered against bronze, shields splintered beneath relentless blows. The battlefield became a storm of dust and chaos, and through that storm, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades carved a path forward. For the first time that day, the armies of Olympus remembered why destiny had chosen them, and the Titans learned a terrible truth. The children Cronus had once feared had become warriors worthy of that fear. Across the valley, a sudden silence spread through the Titan ranks. The veterans stepped aside. The warriors of Cronus lowered their weapons. Even the chaos of battle seemed to hesitate. For at last, the Titan king had begun to move. Slowly, Cronus descended from the heights. The ancient sickle gleamed in his hand, the same weapon that had once overthrown Uranus, the same weapon that had changed the fate of the cosmos. Olympian warriors watched in uneasy silence. Titan warriors roared with renewed hope. For the first time that day, their king would fight beside them. Across the battlefield, Zeus saw him coming. Father and son, the ruler of the old age and the ruler of the age yet to come. Neither looked away, neither turned back. As thunder rolled across the heavens, the distance between them began to close, and the fate of creation itself hung in the balance.